welcome to Anchor Network, where you get updated news of things happening around you. If this is your first time of visiting this channel, I would like and encourage you to subscribe so that you get updated news as soon as we publish them. If Nigeria survives the controversy provoked by the 2019 presidential election, one of the prerequisites would be that there cannot be a Yoruba president in the country for at least another 20 years. Otherwise, we would be further stoking the flames of disintegration. The Yoruba have provided the president in 8 of the last 20 years. They have also held the vice-presidency for another 4 years. That will do for the next 20 years. Our country is the Federal Republic of Nigeria and not Oduduwa Republic of Nigeria. Neither is it the Federal Republic of the Hausa-Fulani and the Yoruba. Nigeria is bigger than the North, West and the Southwest, no matter what the bogus population figures used for elections political regions indicate. Therefore, the choice of presidents cannot be reduced to a ding-dong between them. During the 2019 election campaign, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo tried to seduce Yoruba votes for Buhari on the promise that their votes for him would be rewarded with presidency in 2023. Since the election, a bogus group calling itself the Afenifere Renewal Group has also come out to say the Yoruba will produce the next president in 2023. We have also witnessed already a lot of jockeying by self-styled Yoruba presidents in waiting for strategic position vis-a-vis the 2023 presidential election. This is the height of deceit and irresponsibility. What, if I may ask, did the Yoruba man in the street get for having Obasanjo as president for 8 years? The answer is nothing. The people who already projecting a Yoruba president in Nigeria for 2023 are charlatans. They are up to no good and only hankering after juicy appointments for themselves or their godfathers. The better to rob the country blind. Believe me, they could not care less about the Yoruba. Ask the Imajiri in the north what they have benefited from the last 4 years of Buhari's presidency. If they are sincere, they will tell you it is all zich, nada, nite. Moreover, I don't remember Nigeria passing a constitutional amendment now zoning the presidency exclusively to the northwest and the southwest. These irresponsible people don't mean Nigeria well. Their ethnic jingoism, selfishness is part of what is killing Nigeria today. Democratic experiment has been ongoing now in this Fourth Republic in Nigeria for 20 years since 1999. In that period, the Yoruba have provided a president for 8 years and the vice president for 4 years. In the unlikely event that the results of the 2019 election are confirmed by the court, by 2023, a Yoruba vice president will have been in power for 8 years. Therefore, it is preposterous to still insist that the same Yoruba should simply transition from vice president to president in 2023. What then is to happen to the other ethnic groups in southern Nigeria? When did they become consigned to be only the hewers of wood and drawers of water for the Yoruba? The Igbo, one of the 3 major tribes in Nigeria, have provided neither president nor vice president in the Fourth Republic. An Igbo man has only ever been head of state in Nigeria for merely 6 months, after which he was assassinated with the extreme prejudice. Nigeria then fought a civil war for 3 years, during which the Igbo made an unsuccessful attempt to secede. In that calamity, over 1 million Igbo were slaughtered and killed. Accordingly, even the blind must know that it is in the interest of national unity and cohesion for the presidency to go to the Igbo in 2023, after a denial of over 50 years. In the intervening period, the other 2 major ethnic groups of the Hausa-Fulani and the Yoruba have had their share. If federal character is an indelible principle of the Nigerian Constitution, that principle must also find expression at the presidential level. If it does not, it is tantamount to consigning the Igbo to the status of second-class citizens in their own country of Nigeria. That is why the statement already making the rounds about a Yoruba president in 2023 needs to be stopped immediately before Even the mere expression does irreparable damage to the fragile Nigeria psyche. There is an unwritten understanding in the Fourth Nigeria Republic that the presidency should rotate between North and South. We started with Obasanjo, a Yoruba man from the South, in 1999. That election was a straight contest between two Yoruba candidates, Obasanjo and Olufalaye. Obasanjo won that election and was president for 8 years. Thereafter, it was the turn of the North, and the 2007 election was essentially a northern affair. Yar'Adua ran primarily against Buhari and Atiku. He won, but unfortunately he died in office after barely 2 years. Goodluck Jonathan is vice president, then became president. However, he was from the south, so there was hue and cry in the north that he had usurped the northern slot deemed to be for 8 years. Jonathan served for 2 years and was elected for another 4 years. Thereafter, the North cried enough and Buhari was elected to replace him. The just concluded 2019 election was also essentially a contest between the two northerners from the two major parties of the APC and the PDP, Buhari and Atiku. Whatever the conclusion of the tribunal about that election, a northerner would nevertheless have served as president for 8 years by 2023. This means it will be the turn of a southerner to be president again in 2023. That southerner must, without controversy, be an Igbo man. Any right-thinking Nigerian must see that it is not only high time for this to happen, it is essential for our national integration. It will also signal to all intents and purposes that after 50 years, the civil war is finally truly over. So this is my reasoning. Before it can be the turn of a Yoruba man again, 20 years should be elapsed. This is the breakdown. 2015 to 2023, Northern President. 2023 to 2031, Igbo President. 2031 to 2038, Northern President. That is 20 years before you can get another Yoruba President from the South. Even then, there is no guarantee that the 2038 president should be a Yoruba man. There are other tribes in the South that can also come into contention in that year. So, in the interest of national unity, 2023 is out of the question for the Yoruba. Even though we have yet completely settled the matter of the 2019 presidency, the struggle for 2023 is already tearing the APC apart. The party is not and has never been cohesive. It is a collection of strange bedfellows who came together for the sole purpose of wresting the presidency from the PDP in 2015. Having done that, the party has been undergoing internal combustion, with its member and daggers drawn ever since. The only glue still holding APC together is the fact that the current president is from the party. Once Buhari goes in 2023, that will be the end of APC. Already the PDP components of Atiku, Saraki and Tambuwa have returned to the PDP. The HCN component under the leadership of Bola Tinubu is now at loggerheads with the North-West Redoubts, now spearheaded by Nasser El-Rufai. Everybody knows that the fight for Speaker and President of the Senate is a fight for the South, for the soul of the APC with an eye to 2023. But the Yoruba are using the excuse that the Igbo did not vote for Buhari and the APC in 2019 to lay claim for the presidency again in 2023. The assumption, of course, is that whoever secures the APC presidential ticket in 2023 is a shoe-in for the presidency. As a matter of fact, the Tinubu-led Yoruba faction in the APC is not only insisting on the 2023 presidency, it is also laying claim now to the Speaker of the House of Representatives in 2019. This greed is so way out of control that Tinubu's wife in the Senate also has her eyes firmly trained on the post of the Deputy Senate President. The long and short of the inordinate ethnic monopolistic ambitions is the belief in some quarters that because of current APC political supremacy, Nigeria now belongs to the Hausa-Fulani and the Yoruba and no one else. The rest of the people in the country are simply their political subalterns or houseboys. They are also useful at presidential election time to make up the number. Thereafter, they go off the political radar. The question needs to be asked, are the Igbo Nigerians or are they not? If the answer is yes, as it must be, then we need to ask further, are the Igbo never to be president in Nigeria? The year 2023 is to answer this question once and for all. It is the year when it is so obviously the turn of Igbo. The Hausa-Fulani have had more than their fair share. The Yoruba have had their turn. Ditto for the Niger Delta. What excuse then can be for denying the Igbo their turn in 2023? Only nonsensical and self-serving ones. Those who insist there is some agreement between Buhari and Tinubu that will propel Tinubu to the presidency in 2023 must be dreaming. Just ask El-Rufai. He will tell you Nigerians will never accept Tinubu as national godfather or president. The template he has used to hold Lagos to ransom cannot be duplicated elsewhere, not even in the southwest. Tinubu could only hold to Lagos for Buhari in 2019. APC restored to bribing voters with trailers filled with rice and garri, snatching ballot boxes in Igbo-dominated areas and suppressing opposition votes. If Tinubu can no longer hold the Southwest without these shenanigans, he does not have the hope in hell in the rest of Nigeria come 2023. The anti-Tinubu plotters in APC made sure Osinbajo lost his polling units in Lagos. They ensured Fashola lost his local government. They double-deal Akpabio by not rigging the election in his favor in Akwa Ibom. They buried Adams Oshomole in Edo. They refused to give a certificate of return to Okorocha in Imo. They could not help Rotimi Amechi secure rivers for the APC. In effect, all the APC Iroko trees in the south have been cut down. They no longer have to be seriously reckoned with. This is the same question I've been asking over the time, but the kind of answer I get is neither here nor there. Because I always ask, why is it that Igbo person has never become the president in this country? You know, when you talk, people like, okay, Igbos, they don't know how to play politics. I think it's really, really far from that. And meanwhile, Igbo people have really risen to the level of being the Senate president. And I think at that level, you know, something would have been done. The truth of the matter is that in all the political parties, we have every tribe represented, whether they are from the minority or they are from the majority. So the issue of, you know, trying to segregate the Igbo, this Igbo, that, you know, is not really flying. It's not as if maybe we have Igbo party or whatever. Every tribe is well represented in all parties, whether the party is small or the party, you know, is a big one. So if they could have risen to the level of being, you know, Senate president like 2 times, I remember this man, Ayim Pazios Ayim and Kenneth Inamani. I think they were, you know, Senate presidents whether during Obasanjo time or during Obasanjo time, you know, PDP era and all of that. So what has really happened? Does it mean, you know, there's this kind of conspiracy among those leaders? And that's why I don't really blame the Igbos, you know, agitating for Biafra, because when you have deceived people over and over, you know, over the time, you know, they will resort to self-help. Okay, you don't want referendum, you don't want them to go, you know, them to get their Biafra, and yet you are not treating them as part of the country. And at the end of the day, when Nnamdi again brought this issue of Biafra, agitating for Biafra, you know, only God knows how they did everything, you know, everything was just shrouded in secrecy. And meanwhile, I just want my Igbo guys to listen very well, because I know at most of the time they talk out of bitterness, and if I'm in that shoe, I will do more than that, because they will tell you they don't need presidency, all they just want is Biafra, and you can't blame them, you can't hold them for that, because we've been deceived, they've been deceived over and over time again, you know, using this rhetoric, you know, one Nigeria, one whatever. I don't know why we as a people, as Nigerians, we try to stab ourselves at the back. We can't say the truth when it ought to be said. And the Igbos, that's why they always are angry with their leaders, because they go there to do something else. Everybody just fighting for his own pockets. You cannot even stand for the Igbos. You cannot even speak for them. And at the end of the day, you know, as if they are the leaders from the Igbos, they are on the fence. You know, they are just tilting to wherever it's going to benefit them. They don't even speak for the generality of the people. And that's why they don't even listen to them. When Nnamdi Kanu was, on this agitation, Biafra and all of that, he couldn't listen to all of them because he knew and he knows that all of them, most of them are really traitors. So no matter how you want to cut off a tree, if you don't uproot it from the roots, if you cut it halfway, it will still germinate. This referendum that they are talking about, if Nigerian government knows that they are not going to allow referendum to take place, then you have to do the needful by making sure that Nigeria that you are preaching, that's one Nigeria you are preaching, it's realistic. Because you can't be deceiving people and at the end of the day, you say something different and you expect them to respond to you positively. It's not done anywhere. So the question has been, what has really been the problem? If you are, the gurus in the house, if you really know the reason, if you can say in depth the reason why, why presidency has not gone to the Igbos, I would like you to leave your comments down. When you look at it, literally, every Nigerian does not care where the leader comes from. But because of the people that have been handling the affairs of this country, they are so tribalistic. Because if you have a national, if you have somebody who is a nationalist, who is patriotic, nobody cares nobody cares where the president comes from, because that person will be doing the bidding of Nigerians and Nigeria, not the bidding of some section of the country. And that is why you see, trouble all over the place. And one thing that these leaders don't get is that if you think you are doing the masses, you will never have peace as well. Because the masses, they don't have peace. Everybody is just restless. Everybody is frustrated. And you think you can stay in one corner and be enjoying. It's not possible. If the leaders don't do the needful, whether from Igbo, whether from Yoruba, whether from the Hausa, whether from the minority groups, if those ones that are really represented as leaders from all those ethnic groups, if they don't do the right thing, they will just see that there will be pocket and pocket of, crimes all over the place, and there will be no peace. Just like Femi Aribisala, narrated. Even the ones that have been leading from those ethnic group, like the Hausa now, we have an Hausa president now. So what is happening to the people? Nothing. Poverty, lack of education, name it, every bad thing, is embedded in that region. And the question again, Obasanjo, that was the president of Nigeria, that came from Yoruba land, at the end of the day, of what benefit was it to every Yoruba man on the street? Nothing. So now that we preach one Nigeria and we talk of federal character, if really that is what is obtainable, then it has to go round. But like I said, every Nigeria believes that presidents can come from anywhere. In as much I have everything that will make my life comfortable as a person, there's policy on ground that will make things work out. What is my business? And that is the mindset of every Nigeria. But it is these politicians and leaders that have really turned everybody's mind against each other. And that's why you see agitations upon agitations. People just coming, want to go on our separate ways. So the question is that why is it that presidency has not gone to the Igbos? So I would like you to leave your comments down and let's learn together. I want to encourage, for those that will be putting their comments, I want you to be objective. This is not where you are going to be insulting people, embarrassing people, talking down on people. If you know that you have a valid point, please put it down and let us all learn together. If you abuse somebody, that does not make you mature, and that has not solved any problem. No foul language, no, insultive language. Let's be matured. Thank you very much. I quite appreciate you guys for most of your responses. Bless you. Bye.